Just give it. I'm actually gassed up about it. Let me just give it a nice little retweet here to get the name out there. Retweet.
Mwah!
Welcome to the official 2020 New York Mets console party. All three members of the team here have officially come to the season after our idiot Kyle decided finally enough is enough. It took a 16-3 walloping, 16-4, because Nimmo just tacked one on, a 17-hit, 16-run debacle of a game for Kyle to finally call it. I can't imagine there's a single Mets fan left on the planet Earth who would still have any faith in this team. It's full-scale nuclear DEFCON 1 console, and I'm happy that I already consoled. I do actually take pride in seeing these things from a distance. But boy, it would have been nice to have the console in my pocket. To throw down the console today is like throwing down a draw 4. It's like, bam, fuck you guys, fuck this team. So, Clem, we thank you for joining. Clem's on vacation, so the Mets are actually ruining his date night with his wife. You'll have to pass along my thanks to Mrs. Clem for letting you join us. What a fucking disaster of a day.
Kevin, not so fast, my friend. This is the beautiful thing right now. I'm in Consolina. I didn't give a fuck about this game. This is the beauty of the console. You are separated. I root for my team. I love my team. I want to see nothing but good things. But when our number 3, who became our number 2, who became the guy we traded 2 prospects for, opts out of the season, it bounces right off me. We get fucking curb stomped and fucking beaten to a bloody pulp by our division rival who just won the World Series. It's not a big deal. In my mind, I know. Fuck my mind. I'm in Consolina. I got the ocean over my left shoulder right now. It's beautiful. I don't give a fuck. And Kyle, welcome. You're lucky. I wanted to take your console card away for a week and let you fucking wiggle like a worm at the end of a hook right now.
See, my consoles, we've gone over this. Everyone's consoles are different. I need it's got to sink in just how bad and just how much time I've wasted on the team. And I have a full 9 innings. Cabrera hit the first home run, and I was like, okay, I don't have a good feeling about this one. Mm-hmm. And then when he got up there for that second one, ass out, fucking flipping it, I was like, that's it. It's over. Yormay's coming into close.
Oh, yeah. Assman had 2 bombs.
And 2 doubles.
Clem, perfect. It was Sven Matz. He gives up 3 bombs in like 3 innings, including a Juan Soto 463-foot shot. It went over the apple. It was a bomb. Over the apple. Assman hits 2. And it was just, the route was fucking on. Gary, Keith, and Ron were doing the media musings where they play the classical music and they read the history books. At one point, Keith misunderstood Gary talking about a hit. There was an error in the field, and Gary said the word hit. And Keith goes, whoa, wait. Did they score that a hit? And Gary was like, no. I was saying something else. That was an error. And Keith flat out goes, I wasn't paying attention. I'm falling asleep over here.
We've entered Bob Uecker in Major League territory. Yeah, he's Bob Uecker now.
It was exactly that, dude. I really like the idea of taking away console privileges. When a console looks you dead in the eye and you refuse to do it, and I know it's because I know in your mind and in your heart you know it's over for this team, but you're just trying to be cute with it. I like the idea of revoking it, but at the same time, when at one point it was 14-0, Clem. It was a fucking catastrophe. Everybody's got a console then. Everybody's on the right side of history now. The season is fucking done. I don't want to hear it anymore. Don't tell me about what could be or who's potential to do what. This team is cooked. They stink.
Yeah, and listen, I personally am on the record. I love the football number jokes. I always get a kick out of 14-0 football. I love that kind of shit, especially when my fucking embarrassing team is the one on one of the sides of the scores. This is the thing. I will not taunt someone for wanting to believe and if this is what they need to get through these months. You want to believe in this team, you can. I hope they win the COVID series, whatever. I will not make fun of you for staying, but don't you dare criticize me for not letting this team affect me because this season is fraudulent. Uncle Steve is coming. The season is fraudulent anyway. Let me just enjoy the rest of my life because I would have been at fucking home right now. Like if this ruined my vacation, if this fucking game one ruined my little vacation with my kids, I would be so angry at myself for letting those fucking clowns ruin my vacation. So
There's
that's
no
why
better
the console
time.
is necessary.
You are the perfect example of why it needs to exist. We're not here to root against our own team. We're here to protect our own psyche and say, you know what? The big man's having a nice time with his family. We're not going to let it ruin his time. Kyle, you're young. You don't need to let the Mets ruin your fucking life. We don't need to do this. This is the Mets fan fighting back against the misery that this franchise has called us. And we'll still watch, and we'll still get a kick out of it, Clem. You know what I love tonight? Luis Guillorme went on the mound, pitched a 1-2-3 inning. It was fantastic. He was just throwing 60
mile-an-hour curveball
over the fucking plate, and he got out of the inning. That's when I realized it hit me. It's a stupid sport. It's a dumb game. This position player steps up, three batters, clean inning, no problem. Doolittle gets up the next inning, gives up a leadoff bomb to Nimmo, and he's an actual relief pitcher. The game makes no sense. It's stupid, and anyone who lets it control their lives is an idiot. So no, we set ourselves free today. The Holy Ghost has come down. The Council Ghost has touched us, and we are now healed. We are now free.
Kyle, did you?
I'm going to eat my shitty gum you guys made fun of me for yesterday.
Kev, has super producer BC Council, super producer DC has made it through this whole season. I don't even know where he stands right now. I haven't seen him in person in months. I haven't even like he occasionally chimes in on the text. I don't know what the fuck his temperature's at right now.
Let me see. He's on the West Coast. He's in like a West Coast Consolina. I don't think I've seen a official declaration from him, but if I know him well, we're usually on the same page with these things. He probably consoled like the first Edwin Diaz blown save. I mean, dude, when you find out today that the Cardinals have to play 55 games in 45 days, like this whole season really is stupid. The season is fraudulent. Uncle Stevie is coming anyway, but no better year to have it happen than on one where the rotation falls apart, the offense goes to sleep, and the bullpen's absolutely trash. It's just, it wasn't our year. And if there's ever a year to not have one, it would be this one. So I'm
happy that this isn't Uncle Stevie's year one, because this could have been the opening day gala would have never happened, and we would be having, there's only so much you could change about a team in like the middle of a fucking pandemic, right? Like there would have been no trades. He couldn't have gotten his new GM in, his fucking 25-year-old nerds breaking the fucking salary cap down, fucking black edging the shit out of all of baseball. This is the Wilpons' final year. I want this shit to burn. As long as everyone stays healthy, I want it to burn. Burn! Burn! Dracarys, motherfucker! Dracarys!
I think we actually should. It's been happening every season here and there. I think we should fully burn down Citi Field. I like Citi Field, but I think that we need in college football, when Coach O buries the football or they burn a uniform and they have a symbolic, we should just burn down Citi Field and let him make Cohen's Castle. And it'll be a fucking castle that has a moat around it, and it has a baseball diamond inside. We'll have a drawbridge that you got to get into, and we'll have this fresh new start that will involve a new ballpark and a new fucking GM. Because Brody Van Wagen, he's just a joke. I mean, he's just a joke. And it's not his fault that Marcus Stroman opted out, but it is his fault that the Marcus Stroman trade sucked from the get-go. And now that he did opt out, it's going to look even worse. I got my man Tony Buckets, who's already Major League ready, and he's tweeting memes at me, just fucking making fun of me. Him and the Blue Jays just clowning me on Twitter because they know how fucking stupid we are. I mean, I tried to look at the ledger with Brody. J.D. Davis was obviously a great find. Somehow tricking DeGrom to signing a contract that's about 1/3 of his value. Got to give him credit. Justin Wilson, calling up Pete Alonso, not doing the service time thing. He's had a couple good decisions. But the Edwin Diaz, Robinson Cano, Jared Kelenic, not trading Wheeler. I mean, the list goes on of bad moves and really just 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 blah moves. It's like you don't know what you're doing. Nobody thinks you're a real GM. And I can't imagine that when Stevie Cohen comes to town, if Stevie Cohen comes to town, because at this point, so many bad things are happening. I'm ready for the big one to come. But if he does, I can't imagine he's going to keep this guy, right? He's going to have some fucking genius take the helm, right?
Has to. I mean, Chaim Bloom, this guy probably taught Chaim Bloom how to fucking add. That's the guy Stevie Cohen's fucking bringing in. He taught him how to add and subtract and shit like that.
You know who I wish would do it? You know who I wish would be the GM? Steve Cohen.
Yes.
Like an owner GM is like, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I have full confidence that he doesn't have the ego, right? So he'll just be like, I want to win, but let me put the right people in place. But I also know that he's like the smartest motherfucker in the world. And if he's got the baseball acumen and the baseball knowledge, I bet you he'd be the best GM in the world. I think it's just a matter of if he wants to do it. But whoever he does pick, I think they're going to bring the fucking noise.
I honestly, like, we said it last episode, or I don't remember. These things all blend together. Like, I honestly think there is a case that Brodie Van Wagenen could be known as the worst general manager in Mets history. Because all like basically except for JD Double Davis, everyone else on the team that is good is from the previous regime.
Right.
Like Pete Alonso was drafted. Jeff McNeil was already drafted. The fact he didn't include Jeff McNeil in a trade, we're giving Brodie credit for not just giving him away with Jared Kelenic. And listen, I've said this all the time. If Jared Kelenic busts, he busts. If he fucking Tony Buckets busts, he busts. These guys do have value, and that value is worth more than Robinson Cano's corpse, Edwin Diaz, who cannot close baseball games, and 11 shitty they're not shitty, games from Marcus Stroman. 3.7 ERA. He made no difference when it mattered last year, and you can't see a
and when it was
coming. But even unless anything short of like top 20 in the Cy Young kind of race was like not worth it in my opinion.
Right.
Was already dead last year. We had already consoled, and then he went and got him at the break, and it was like we're shooting for the playoffs all of a sudden. He is the snake oil salesman that we were warned about, where he looks flashy, he talks right, he's good for the media, and nothing else.
And
he's
selling
you a bag of beans.
So many dumb fans and like guys like Portnoy, who like people who think that we are too hard on the Mets, saw that move and they were like, stop complaining. He just went and got Marcus Stroman, a big name, a big ace. And it's like, first of all, if you've been paying attention, I love Stro, but not really. Second of all, this team is not good. They're not in the hunt. This is not a real season to contend. And now you just gave up good prospects for a guy who's not going to play here beyond next season. And now it doesn't even accumulate even to amount to even this season. So that was like that was the most annoying because it was the ultimate smoke and mirrors. Like Marcus Stroman, he's got Twitter jokes. He's a cool dude. It's like, listen, even if that's true, not the right time, not the right move. And people were giving him credit for that. And it was just like, I mean, get the fuck out of here. Anybody who's been paying attention knows that was a dumb deal. And it ended up being even worse than we thought it was going to be. And I didn't even know if that was possible.
Yeah. And that's like, I honestly, like, you hear all the time how like Jeff Wilpon, the Yankees are in his head. The Yankees and Stroman were linked together, and then the Mets kind of swooped in.
Oh, yeah.
Why the fuck did we do that? And I'm convinced that was a part of it. And I'm convinced you cannot tell me any differently. They were like, Wheeler's going to leave. We're going to still have Jake. We're going to still have Noah. We want to have that third pitcher. If we let Wheeler walk, which, I mean, he made a lot of money. He's pitching well so far, so it kind of looks bad that we let him walk as of now, which is very early. But they kind of wanted Stroman to be like, all right, don't worry about Wheeler. We have Marcus Stroman here. And then, we have a couple guys in the minors who pan out, or we get a Ricky Two-Face or Two Freds or whatever. I honestly believe that was the day Zach Wheeler officially was done with the Mets, is when they traded for Marcus Stroman.
And had they
wanted Wheeler.
Yes,
the Yankees wanted Wheeler, and we wouldn't trade him for them.
If they had just admitted that last season was not an actual year to try to go for it, you could have traded Wheeler for probably a handful of nice prospects. You could have kept Tony Buckets and those prospects, and you could have had like 5 or 6 guys to work with for the future. And instead, you have nothing to show. No prospects, no Wheeler, no Stroman, nothing.
And you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it at the next deadline or so, when those prospects you could have moved if Kelenic had moved up, if Woods Richardson moved up, all those guys, Tony Buckets, and then like, if any of those guys pan out, those would be on the Mets team in 2 or 3 years for a fucking bargain. And instead, we have, again, Robin Sagano's anchor of a contract just sitting on the books. Edwin Diaz, like, what is he? A sixth inning guy? I don't even know where we could throw this guy anymore. It's craziness to me. So, and then, yeah, Marcus Stroman, gone. Like, there's no way he comes back, right? Like, if anything, he goes to the Yankees on a 1-year deal. If anything, he's a Yankee.
He's already playing it out, though, where he's like, I love New York. I love being here. Because it's smart on his part, because it's like, if he talks them up now, he knows the Wilpons and Brody are gone. He probably walked into their office and was like, you leave your keys on the desk when I get out of here. Right. I'm coming in for Stevie.
I mean, I got nothing.
I also have to say this. I have no problem, like, they were saying how, like, he waited until he got his, like, service time. Like, baseball teams have been scumbags for years to baseball players. The fact, if he did that for them, good for you, Marcus. Get your fucking bag and fucking flip off probably the worst owners he'll ever have to deal with his entire life in the Wilpons.
Yeah, the service time thing is constantly manipulated by the franchise and by the owners. I mean, remember how bad Chris Bryant got fucked? I mean, you can. I never understood that. If you have a top-notch prospect, you're gonna jeopardize 1 year, but you're hoping he plays for the next 10. You're gonna fuck around with 1 year and pretty much like piss him off and potentially ruin the relationship. Never made any sense to me. So I have no problem with the player turning around and doing it right back to the franchise. So good for Marcus. Be safe, get your money, fine. But that deal is gonna go down in history. Brody, the worst of the worst. This team is gonna go down as one of the worst in history. And I'm happy to say we have the trio here. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, all three of us have consulted. And so tonight we conclude by saying the creed. The season is fraudulent. Uncle Stevie is coming.
Season is fraudulent anyway.
Uncle
Stevie.
And you know what?
The season is fraudulent.
You do not have to believe. You do not.